hard time seeing anything. There
I am too. I'm so bleary-eyed tonight. Let's dive in as quick as we can.
Mm-hmm.
How long are we going to wait?
Hello, Al Bear. My man. My brother. Hello, Nicole Applecakes. Hey, Ron. My man. All right. Stronger and Wiser. Hello, Krista. T.A. in the house. Not to be confused with my pal. Hello, Christy Bazemore. Oh, Becky Copland.
TA, not can be confused with your pal who?
Troy.
Oh. I didn't get it.
My pal. Oh, Kyle, my man. Hello, Elizabeth Estrada. Not to be confused with Elizabeth Betts or Liz Key. Those are three different people. Hello, Sheila Redmond from the Hub City. No, I'm not coming, Sheila. I'm getting left out. Getting left out of coming to my own town. Hello, Deanna. Hello, Angelina Guerrara. Oh, and there's Liz Key. Not to be confused with Elizabeth Betts or Elizabeth Estrada. Three different people. Hello, EDL. Hello, SDL. Hello, Angelique Boone. All right. Got our usual cast of characters in the room, including one Walter A. Evans and this character sitting next to me. Hello, Christy Kincaid Norris. All right. That's good enough for me. Time to start a podcast.
Wow. Usually he drags it on.
We get KK in the room and we're ready to roll. Hello, Michael Melkos. Everybody else is like, what am I, chopped liver? Hello, Yenna. Hello. Do you say hello, Hand? Oh, you just said hello. I thought you said hello, Hand. Hello, Wheeze. Hashtag who's Wheezy. Hashtag where's Wheezy. Wheezy. Hello, Amber. Much love from Illinois. All right. The Illini state, my home state. Well, I consider Texas my home state, but was born in Illinois.
It's your birth state.
Yes, it's my birth state.
How long do you have to live somewhere before it becomes your home state?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think it's part of how quickly indoctrinated you are.
All right.
Will Smith, he's kind of lewd.
Well, it's shocking revelation.
Jada Pinkett Smith is lewd.
In Jada's memoir.
Well, they're lewd, both of them. Lewd.
All right. Testing. 1, 2. Testing.
Hello,
good.
Brooksio. Jenna. Genitalia, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Jenna. Genitalia, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Genitalia.
It's me. Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I'm Kellie Rasberry Evans, and my husband is my podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
And Trade in the house.
And welcome to another fabulous show. Alan has been going through stacks and stacks of letters because we asked you to submit for Ask Alan Anything, and y'all sure did respond.
Ask Alan.
Ask Alan anything. Y'all responded, and we are here to answer a lot of your questions today. Also, a lot of people having questions about an Instagram story I posted.
Oh.
See, I can't assume that everybody follows everything I do 24/7 and catches every post I ever make.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I posted on my Instagram story that I had attached my heart monitor, people started freaking out. They're like, what happened? Because they missed about 2 months ago when I had my on the radio incident.
They missed all the drama.
Yeah.
No more drama.
So I thought I would just really quickly just dive into that and get that talk out of the way before we ask Alan anything.
Before you do that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little rundown of what we're doing today, or just dive right into it.
Well, you can do the rundown for sure. It's going to be my heart monitor. Ask Alan anything.
Well, yeah, it's Ask Alan Anything.
We're never going to get through all these. We're never going to get through all those.
Letters. Did you hear that? That's like a stack.
It's a lot.
It's like a ream of paper.
And
I'm not behind. I'm not behind. This is recent.
Yeah.
I mean, they came pouring in. So we may do a few of those. And you may have forgotten this, and don't spill the beans on what this is about if what I'm about to say jogs your memory. But
I forget everything.
One, Walter A. Evans was out in the wild in the last week. And as I do sometimes, I am placed in a situation that gives me pause. Sometimes that makes me scratch my head. Sometimes makes me uncomfortable. Sometimes makes me angry. Just basically being in the general public and interacting with some people sometimes.
Yeah, you're not always good with people. Well, that's true. What am I saying that's shocking? I'm just agreeing with you. How is agreeing with you a clapback or anything other than supporting what you just said?
I think most people that meet me are pleasantly surprised that I'm not as prickish as you make me out to be.
As I make you out to be?
Yes.
I think you do it to yourself.
Anyway, something happened to me and I was shocked. I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm going to tell the story.
I don't remember.
I'm going to tell the story, and
no danger of me spoiling it because I don't know what you're talking about.
And then I will give you some options, good, strong, dear, sweet, clean listener, on what I should have done. I'll tell you what I did, and then maybe you can tell me what I should have done by emailing us at podcast@kellyandalan.com.
Well,
so we'll get to that. That'll be the last.
Was I there when this happened?
You were not there.
Did you tell me about it?
I told you about it.
Was it?
Just, we'll get to it.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, you don't listen to anything I say.
I do listen. I just forget.
This has been proven time after time after time.
No, it's not.
It is.
I forget stuff. That doesn't mean I'm not listening. I just forget it after you say it.
Speaking of your forgetfulness, what happened remember when you were laying on the floor doing something, or you were in the chair and you said, you got up and you said, you gave me a bam, 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 like 3 ailments in a row that I had never heard of.
Nope, I have no recollection of that.
Oh, come on.
When was that? I don't know what you're talking about.
It was like, I've got, the IT, it was an IT band.
Oh, I'm starting to do stretches because it's very important.
Okay, here we go. We'll get into your ailments.
Well, it's not ailments.
Well, no, this will lead into the heart discussion.
It's just important. I'm 56 and you've got, there's preventive medicine and preventive things are boring, but so necessary because it's easier to prevent a problem than having to correct it later, and cheaper, isn't it? So I went online and looked up stretches for IT bands, which are very important to keep flexible. So I found one, there were some doctors that were showing you how to stretch your IT bands. And that was that. That's not an ailment. That's just me trying to.
But you're like, oh, my IT band.
Well, they're tight.
Yeah.
My IT bands are tight. When I work out with trainers who do stretching, they always tell me my IT bands are tight.
Okay. But then there was another one. Was it your?
I don't know. I always have my shoulder issues and I haven't been doing my physical therapy for that. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, there were new ones because I'm familiar with most of yours, but these were 3 new ones.
Is it my heart? I don't know.
Was your foot? Is there something wrong with your foot? Because your running shoes are usually an issue.
If I have high insteps,
yes.
I don't know if y'all saw me when I was on my trip to Nashville, and they're trying to put boots on me, but I have a high instep, so I end up getting a boot with a zipper because it's hard to get my foot in and out. And if I wear flats for all day, then my foot starts to hurt. My arch will start to kind of, it's just like a thing.
Well, sorry I brought all this up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Was it
my foot hurting because I've been wearing flats all day?
The IT band was one. It was like, oh, my aching IT band. And I'm like, wow, I've never heard that one. And then you followed it up with, and my pancreas hurts or something, and then you were like.
My pancreas is okay.
Yeah, then you were like, oh, man,
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I'm such a burden.
My left gluteus maximus is having a spasm or something that. It was something.
I'm sorry you married me. I'm so sorry you did. And you have to put up with me and my high instep and my tight IT band.
I'm not bringing it up.
So sorry.
Say I was sorry.
And now I've got a heart monitor. I'm just falling apart.
Okay, tell us about the heart. What's going on?
Falling apart. Well, I don't know if I talk about my ailments all the time. Apparently, I need to stop doing that.
No, the heart's a big deal. It like keeps you alive, so we need to know about it.
Well, heart disease is a silent killer.
Yes.
And it's the #1 killer of women.
Is that really?
It is true.
All kidding aside, is that true?
It's true. Heart disease
Heart
is the #1
disease,
killer of women. And a lot of times women just dismiss symptoms of heart disease, which could, be heart attacks, heart strokes, things like that, as being hormonal. It could be fatigue. It could be just stress. You don't realize that you're having, heart issues until, unfortunately, it could be too late. And a lot of times you have to really push doctors to test you for things, because I've interviewed people through the North Texas chapter of the American Heart Association, because, Go Red for Women campaign, I've been a part of that before, and about women who go to the doctor and after passing out, and they say, no, you're fine. It's just, you're tired. You need more rest. And a woman's like, no, something is wrong. I'm not a doctor, but I know my body, and come to find out needed life-changing, life-saving surgery. So anyway, in my situation, it was July 31st, I believe it was. I was on the radio and I was talking to JC, and this is the Kid Craddock morning show.
National Syndicate.
And I just looked at him and I had this feeling like I'm about to pass out. And as I was talking, I didn't want to be embarrassed and have that happen without me notifying everybody in the room. I think I'm about to pass out. And so we went to commercial break. My heart rate shot up. I don't even remember what it was at this point. Was it 126 or something?
That sounds really high.
It was about that.
Was it really?
It was about that. Not as high as it could. Some people go higher than that. But I didn't have my Apple Watch with me that day, but JC did. So he put it on my wrist, and it was 126, and it just stayed there and wouldn't come down. And I've had heart palpitations before. Like if I stand up too quick, you get a head rush or something. People get that all the time because you stand up too quick and your blood pressure drops or whatever. And that, for me, has been normal my whole life. But it lasts about 10 seconds maybe. A couple of times it's lasted longer, where it got a little bit like, is this going to stop? And it finally did. This time it wasn't stopping. Boss Man came in, and this was right after the 10-year anniversary of Kid Craddock dropping dead from a massive heart attack. And so here's Boss Man, who was with Kid when he died, and he sees me having a heart issue. And he's like, not on my watch.
Hey, Kellie, you having a heart attack? Amen.
He's like, we're going to the ER. And I fought him on it. I didn't want to go.
Thought we were getting sushi today. Amen.
I didn't want to go. I said, it's a waste of time. This is what women do. We make excuses, and men too. I shouldn't say this is exclusive to women. But this is nothing. It's going to pass. I don't want to go to the ER. It's going to be too expensive and all this stuff.
Was Sean there?
I don't think so. He might have been, but he wasn't in the room.
He was there?
He might have been in the other room. I don't recall.
Hi, Kellie.
I know. Okay. What, boss? What, El Presidente?
Hey, are you having a heart attack?
I don't think so.
Why don't you call that knucklehead husband of yours? I know what that asshole will say. He'll say, don't go to the ER.
See, that's what happened. I
It's too
called
expensive.
Alan, and I said, Alan, Boss Man wants me to go to the ER, and I don't think I need to. And I was like, well, don't go.
That's what I said. But okay.
You really did.
I did, but I didn't.
It's expensive.
I didn't realize this was so serious, because the way Kellie
Neither did
sounded,
I.
the way she sounded on the phone, it sounded like
was kinda mad.
absolutely nothing was wrong.
I was kind of mad.
It wasn't like she was like, my heart. I would not go to the ER. But she was talking normally. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. She's just like, I've kind of had this little heart thing going on. And
I didn't
Boss
say
Man,
it like that. But I was mad. I was like,
yeah.
My heart rate shot up, and I thought I was going to pass out. I think I'm fine. But
And
Boss Man wants
me to go, and I don't want to go. And I was like, well, then don't go. I mean, I was at Starbucks waiting on one of the boys to finish something. And
so you didn't drop everything to rush by my side?
Well,
No.
I was in Allen.
We weren't taking it serious.
And you were in Las Colinas. Yeah.
Neither one of us was.
We really weren't taking
I'm
it
not
seriously.
mad.
Right. Yeah.
Just let you know, I'm not mad about
Amen.
that.
You need to go to the ER.
So anyway, George made me go.
Yeah.
And I was mad. And I even told the ER doctor, I said, there better be a little something wrong with me to justify this visit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go in there and just say, you're fine, right? Anyway, got through gave me an IV drip. I can't remember what it was called, that got my heart rate down immediately. And then they've put me on the pill version of that ever since, along with a baby aspirin every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then after about a month, I finally got in to see the cardiologist, and they had done some blood work on me. and they did an EKG. And that day in the doctor's office, of course, my heart's perfectly fine. It's like, doesn't that always happen when you get sick? You're struggling, you're dying, you're like, oh, I'm so sick. And you make an appointment. And by the time you go to the doctor's office, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happened. But then she said, I want you to just, while we're here in the office, there could be a problem. We just want to cover all of our bases. To be safe, I want you to wear this at-home heart monitor. And I'll explain to you about that in just a second.
And this is all leading up to what people saw on your IG
on
story.
my Instagram story. Yeah.
Okay. So that was the setup.
That was the setup.
Okay.
All right. I love the change of seasons. Thank the Lord, because the weather's getting cooler and I get to change out my wardrobe, which I always think is fun, except it's a bit of a hassle, right? You're pulling clothes out from this last season and putting them away and hauling the new ones out. It's kind of exhausting. It's a lot of work. But changing out my glasses to match the change of season, well, that's a snap with Pair Eyewear. And their latest fall collections give you even more ways to celebrate your creativity and your individuality. Pair Eyewear makes it so simple. You use their virtual try-on and find the base frame that suits your face shape. I chose the Caribbean Blue Tortoise. That's the color I thought was very complimentary to my skin tone, and the shape complimentary to my big square face.
Oh.
Then you have lots of fun picking out the magnetic top frames that change up your look in a snap. So you're not spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for an eyeglass wardrobe. It's so simple. And I love spooky season, right? And Pair Eyewear also has added a Halloween collection now, 18 designs from werewolves to spider webs, candy, fun like that. You can lean into fall with the Harvest collection. They've got designs that are perfect for Thanksgiving. They've got corn on the cob frames, Alan.
That's cute.
So cute.
I'd wear those.
There's a top frame to match every outfit, every occasion, every mood. So affordable. Base frames start at just $60. Top frames at just $25. And you get free standard shipping on all orders and a flexible 30-day return policy.
Change things up this season with new frames from Pair Eyewear. Just go to paireyewear.com/sandwich for 15% off your first pair. That's Pair, P-A-I-R, eyewear.com/sandwich.
Thank you, Pair Eyewear. All right, so back to my heart monitor. So she said, just to be on the safe side, we want to do this. And she said, we have to run it through your insurance first. And so that took a minute. It took about a month. Insurance, sometimes the wheels turn slow. So it finally arrived in the mail this weekend. And honestly, you have to watch a video just so because you have to apply it and do all these, clean the area. If you're a man, you have to shave your chest and do all this stuff. And I'm like, I ain't got time for this weekend. I was busy. We had baseball tournaments, literally all day baseball tournaments and things. So I finally did it yesterday, and I put the damn thing on crooked.
How
it's crooked.
Well, what is that?
It's supposed to go straight up and down. I don't know. It's a little cattywampus.
Well,
it's a little off center.
How off center is it?
It's not that bad, is it?
It doesn't look off
It's
center.
not that bad. It's a little cattywampus, but it's fine. I think it's fine.
So what is it doing? Collecting data?
It's collecting data for 24/7, and you're supposed to wear it. She would like me to wear it 2 weeks if I can make it that long. She said if it falls off, go ahead and mail it in. Ideally, at least a minimum of a week.
Does it track your sleep?
No, it's just for heart.
Oh, so
I don't think this is a sleep monitor. I think it's just a heart.
Oh, okay.
But this is, I think, like just an extra caution thing, because women have been overlooking heart disease and stuff for so long. I think this is like a course correction, because they're giving out heart monitors like candy. My Aunt Velma, when I called to tell her about it, she said, yeah, I had to wear one. My cousin Cindy had to wear one. My cousin Leah had to wear one. We all had to wear one this year. So these are becoming very common. What are you making that face for?
I didn't know this was so common.
Yeah, apparently it is, because they don't want to risk dismissing symptoms like they have in the past.
Yeah.
And women dropping dead.
Yeah,
it's true.
We don't want that for sure. Right.
So anyway, it's really simple, and it kind of, depending on what you wear. I mean, I've worn this shirt all day and nobody can see a thing based on the clothes you wear. It does kind of peak up a little bit high, but I can't stand in a direct, like I can take showers with it, but I can't face the water. I have to have the water on my back. I can't just like pound the water on it. I can't wear an underwear wire bra. So they suggest sports bras or, non-wire bras. What else? Oh, I can't exercise excessively and sweat. So there goes that. I love it when it's medically prescribed not to exercise.
I don't think you have to worry about
That's my
that.
favorite.
You have to worry about that a whole lot.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I was a little nervous. Like the first night, I'm like, can I sleep on my side? Is that going to mess it up? But it's, I can't, it itches a little sometimes. The adhesive on it kind of itches, but that's about it.
Okay.
So that's why I have the heart monitor on. And everybody in my DMs are so sweet. They're praying for me.
Oh.
Everybody's praying for me. Somebody, of course, everybody's like, it's the COVID vaccine. Everybody that has a heart issue, it's the COVID vaccine. It's that you did the COVID vaccine. I'm like, well, that's not it.
Well, that's not it.
People can still have heart issues that have not had the COVID vaccine.
That's true.
But, just because somebody drops with a heart attack doesn't mean it was from that. Doesn't mean it wasn't from that either, right? But anyway, that's where it stands.
Okay.
That's why I have the heart monitor on. If you missed my previous heart attack story, which wasn't really a heart attack.
There you go.
It was an incident.
There you go. Well, we're just glad you're okay.
Well, I've made it through 24 hours with it. 13 more days.
13 more days.
If I can keep it on.
All right. Okay. Well, no heavy exercise.
No problem.
I've been doing 10,000 steps a day. That's my exercise.
Well, Alan has made it his goal to walk 10,000 steps, roughly 4 miles a day for 30 days.
5 miles.
I thought it was 4 miles.
5 miles.
10,000 steps is 4 miles.
5 miles.
Maybe it's the way you walk. For me, it was 4.
I don't know. 10,000 steps.
Anyway.
Whatever that is.
Alan, you remember when I did this? I committed to 4 miles a day last summer. I did it for 2 months. Busted my butt. Literally, I tripped and fell one day and
you did.
Hurt myself. That was the beginning of the end of my 4 miles a day, because I did it every day for 2 months and did not lose an ounce.
And then Cole had to come rescue you.
I was literally just in a heap. I bruised her. It was awful. And I was like, it took me a while to be able to walk again after that without pain. I don't mean I was paralyzed. It just took me a while to walk again.
The kid?
Alan does it.
10,000 steps a day. I've done it now for 13 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So 14 days. So 2 weeks. I've done it for a little over 2 weeks, I guess, or right around 2 weeks.
How much have you lost?
10,000 steps a day. All I've done is track my calories in MyFitnessPal. My calorie goal is 1,500 calories, which isn't a lot, but I can eat whatever I want as long as I'm 1,500 calories. Lost 12 freaking pounds. 10,000
pounds.
10,000 steps a day.
In less than 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 12. Well, that ought to tell you how big a fat ass
I did it for 2 months and lost nothing.
Before I started this.
Nothing.
I still got another 12 I need to lose.
Well, I'm going back on Red Mountain.
Big Allen in the house.
Going back on Red Mountain. Starting that tomorrow.
Okay, babe. You want to do some of these letters or what?
Yeah, let's get to that. Or what?
Yay? Nay?
Or what?
Do something else?
What else is there?
This first letter is from Eric. Subject? Ask Alan.
Ask,
Alan
we didn't give me
anything.
the wording.
Hey.
Ask Alan. Ask Alan anything.
Hey.
Sing it in 5 different keys.
Kelly and Alan. The dilemma that I have is currently I'm wanting to know the benefits of having a generic Chase checking account versus a credit union.
Why would you ask us that?
Because we're his confidants. You've met Eric.
Eric who?
Oh my goodness. Listener, see how I champion the listener? He's from Midland. He was at our party.
Oh, that Eric. Okay, well, I'm like, I don't know which Eric you're talking about.
How many Erics with a K do you know?
You didn't say it was Eric with a K from Midland.
Any insight to this? Which one would you pick? Does it even matter? Thank you both. Hashtag promo code Kelly in South Kakalaki. In lasting unity, Eric with a K.
Well, see, this is like when somebody asked me in love letters to Kelly
Love
about
letters.
a mortgage question. I'm like, I don't know. What is the question?
Well, I've got an HSO.
What?
It used to be
But what is he asking?
that the credit union was a place where you could get a little bit better rates on home and auto loans and maybe a little bit better rates on savings accounts. I don't know that that's true anymore. Some people like the small town feel of the credit union. I think that that's another draw of the credit union because I've belonged to a credit union before, but now when we got married, I'm with the big corporate machine, Bank of America. So Eric, today I don't know. I mean, I've done them both. There's not one that
Ask me. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not one that I loved way more than the other. But I will tell you, when I was with a credit union and then switched to Bank of America, I noticed that the technology was a lot better. Like they had a better app, they had a better website, but the rates and everything were about the same. So, and there's more locations, right? So you got way more ATMs and more branches at a big bank than you do at a credit union. But if you like the small town feel, maybe their rates are better. I haven't checked them in years. That's the only insight I got. You got anything else?
I don't know anything about credit unions.
All right, let's go to the next letter. This letter is from. This one's a tough one. I'm gonna need some help with this one. This letter is
I thought it was for you.
This letter is from.
Is it Ask Alan Anything?
This letter is from Ahsoka. Subject: Ask Alan. Ask Alan anything. Sharing of chores. Dear Alan, my husband and I have been married for 2.5 years. Newlyweds. First marriage for both. I am 50 and he is 40. Oh, okay. Wow. Little interesting detail there.
Well, that is helpful.
Yeah, that is helpful.
A first marriage, that means you waited and you're at that point kind of set in your ways, I would think.
Yeah. We do not have children, but love to go to all the sports games of our nieces and nephews. We also have high-stress jobs that entail working lots of extra hours. It seems like most of the household duties fall to me, from changing the AC filter to washing the dog to shopping for food to cleaning. He takes out the trash and brings in the groceries. If I ask him to help with something else around the house, he might begrudgingly do it. He says that if he does do something, it won't be to my liking. We're both so busy and can't do everything, and our house is so messy. I honestly think he would be fine living in a complete pigsty as long as he has his recliner, remote, TV, a drink, and some snacks. That actually sounds pretty good.
Sounds very familiar.
I grew up having to do chores, but I don't think he did. I am not a neat freak by any means, but I feel so exhausted and overwhelmed. I love my husband dearly, but how can we work out the sharing of chores? Thanks so much, TK. This sounds more like a love letter than it does in Ask Alan Anything.
Well, no, it's actually better for you because as the husband, you can give her some helpful hints to get things done.
All I can tell you is from the man's perspective here is like Kelly and I kind of divvy up stuff, and it's just, we just know that that's kind of like our thing to do. Like, and that's not to say that she doesn't go up and pick up dog crap every once in a while. She does.
Every once in a while, but not a lot.
That's not to say
that's more his job.
That's not to say that I don't do loads and loads of laundry. I do. We help each other out. It's not like Kelly's got to do the laundry and I got to do all the yard stuff. We have things that we mostly do, but then every once in a while we kind of help each other out on those. Is that I'm not wrong there, right?
That's pretty accurate.
Okay, so that's accurate. Another thing I would say from the man's perspective is there are things that I would just rather do and knock it out and really not have any help doing it.
Like what?
Yard work. I'm totally good with doing all the yard work.
I used to get out there with you.
And if Kelly will just bring me a water, I'm good. If she just every once in a while make sure I'm not dead.
And I do that.
And she does that. And that's totally fine. Kelly knows that I hate grocery shopping. So she just does it.
And y'all know how much I love, how much I love when you go grocery shopping with me. But he quickly ruined it for me by making it a miserable experience. So I don't ask him anymore.
Wow. Okay. Well,
it's true.
What I do is if I hear the garage door open, most of the time I hear the garage door open, I run out and I try to give Kelly some help with the groceries in. So,
because as your mother says,
and that's what I was trying to get to. My mom used to say, Ahsoka, don't ask, just do. So if I would ever say, hey, Mom, do you need help with the groceries? She would say, don't ask, just do. Like, don't ask me if I need help. If you want to help me, just help me.
Help me, yeah.
So I guess for me, that's always been my experience and mindset from being a young man.
But that's not, that's your mindset.
Right.
But here's a guy
I understand.
who was set in his ways, didn't get married for the first time till 40. So he had a certain way that he did things. And it's like a conversation people don't have before they get married.
Yeah.
And that's why premarital counseling, people are like, we're fine. We don't need premarital counseling. It's not always about you got to solve problems. It's about preventing problems. And some of the discussions that come up is about shared finances. Even if you're a young couple, it's about when you have children, how do you feel about disciplining? It's conversations that you wouldn't think to bring up before you dive headfirst into a marriage that a counselor can bring up. It's like, well, how do you feel about household work? What is your theory on that? And then you can hash that out before you go into a marriage, just expecting, well, he's been living by himself for 40 years. Certainly he's going to still continue to do his own laundry, where in his mind, he might be thinking, well, phew, I finally got a wife and now she can do that because that's women's work. That's what his mom always did. We don't know what his thinking is.
No, but Kelly's right. I mean, those are discussions like you should probably have before you get married, because now that you are married, now you do need to have the discussion like, hey, we got to split up the chores somehow.
Have a post-nuptial agreement.
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal to just say, hey, can we huddle up for like 5 minutes? And there's lots of chores around here. And I feel like, there are a lot of them that I'm doing that I really need some help with. If you just kind of approach it that way, like Kelly always says, not meanly, but from a place of love, just, hey, I want to help you out. And I know you can help me out.
Before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, because these are the kind of things, they start small and then they lead to resentment later on.
That's it.
If you're like, well, screw it. He's just a lazy bum. I'm just going to keep doing it myself. I'm going to keep doing it myself.
And then be mad about it.
Yeah. And then you're pissed. And then you look back 5 years later and you're like, why did I marry this bum? Whereas if you had just talked about it 5 years ago, you might have been able to nip it in the bud then.
But she says also when she asks him to do stuff, he does it with a bad attitude. He begrudgingly does it.
Well, and that's
why y'all need to talk about.
Well, that's something we need to talk about.
And also I come up with a honey-do list for Alan. Now, granted, that last list might sit there for a while.
But does it get done?
Well,
does it get done?
Here, I saw the honey-do list.
Get done?
Honey-dos. Eventually, I think out of a list of 8 things I have, one's gotten done on it.
I add things to it myself. What are you talking about?
You add things that you can do easy.
Oh, really? Really?
What did you just add? Where's the list? I'm trying to find it. It was here a minute ago. What did you add on it?
Yeah.
What's the last few things you added?
You got friends coming in October, right?
Yeah.
Somebody, and what's got 2 thumbs and's got to trim all the bushes around Evans
trim
Manor?
the bushes.
This guy.
Thank you for that.
This
what
guy.
What else did you add?
Who's got to get the entire backyard all straightened back up from the disaster that it is now, from the summer, all the chairs and crap everywhere, all the stuff laying all over the deck. Who's got to get all that straightened up? Who's got 2 thumbs and is doing
that on the honey-do list?
This guy. Yes.
See, look at him getting an attitude about it. And I just very sweetly made a honey-do list. I even put a smiley face on it.
About it. You just said I put things on there that are layups. That's not true.
They're the things you're going to do anyway.
Look, she's asking us for advice.
You're doing things anyway.
Look, she's asking us
for advice. What about them paint drips that have been on the stairs since we moved in 6 years ago?
And we're on here bitching about who's doing what.
Let me just tell you, there's been a honey-do item on the list for 6 years, and he hasn't gotten around to it.
We've provided her absolutely no help.
It's all about communication. I think what it boils down to is communication and letting him know, honey, you have to do it when you're calm and a good attitude. I don't want to resent you, but this is starting to build up as resentment. I know we've both come into this marriage kind of later in life, not that we're old, but we're both set in our ways, but we really need to come to an agreement on this stuff before I start wanting to pinch your head off in your sleep. How about that?
And also every man, I mean, men are different in this way. I mean, the stereotype is, oh, guys, like you were saying, he's got his recliner, his remote, his, whatever, his TV and his snacks. And all. That's kind of the stereo. Every guy is different in that respect. He may not have come from a family where he had to do chores. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
His mama might have done everything for him.
Maybe so. But every guy is different, and maybe he just needs a little more, hey, encouragement. This is what I need help on from you. In my case, I'm just telling you, my mom was kind of pushed me to just do stuff. Don't ask if you can do it. If you see something that needs to be done, just do it. And I always kind of remember that. And I lived by myself for a number of years after I got divorced, which I wasn't helpless. I knew how to do things.
You do stuff, but you would, if it's just you living alone too, you put stuff off, like cleaning the toilet, can wait, and things like that until you have a woman coming over.
But you know what?
And then you scrub that toilet.
Hey, I didn't have a maid, so somebody had to do it.
That's right.
And that was this guy.
With the 2 thumbs.
This guy.
That guy with the 2 thumbs.
Do that.
Why are you telling me what to do?
Do that.
Why don't you knock something off the honey-do list while I do this?
Okay.
All right. This podcast is sponsored by Relief Band. I love that I got to grow up a Rasberry. My daddy was the baby of 12. We had a great big family with big family reunions. And every Sunday we go to grandmama and granddaddy's house in Mullins, about a 45-minute drive. And my grandmama would always meet me with a half a Dramamine because I was a little girl and I would get so car sick. She'd give me that half a Dramamine. And then I couldn't visit because I was sleepy. And you know how Rasberries love visiting, Alan?
Oh, they do.
We love to visit.
They really do.
But Rasberries, that's another thing. In addition to having this big, wonderful, colorful family, we're all very prone to motion sickness. And back then, Dramamine was really our own solution. But now there's Relief Band. Relief Band is the #1 anti-nausea wristband that quickly relieves and effectively prevents nausea and vomiting that's associated with motion sickness or anxiety, maybe from a migraine, if that's what causes you to get sick, hangovers, morning sickness, chemotherapy, so many more causes for your nausea and vomiting. Relief Band is natural, it's fast acting, and it will last as long as you need it. It's 100% drug-free. It is non-drowsy, so you can keep on visiting, 0 side effects. I used it recently for the first time on our trip to Florida. I knew we were going to be going out on the water. I put on the Relief Band before we went out in the ocean, and that's the beauty of it. It prevents you from getting sick in the first place. Now, if you get sick, you can put it on. It will relieve it after you get sick, but that's the beauty. Why not prevent the nausea and never have to deal with being sick for 1 minute? Relief Band it's got an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, over 100,000 satisfied customers. So this is a brand you could trust. And Relief Band makes a great gift if you have someone in your family who suffers nausea.
So if you always have a flashlight on hand for a blackout or a first aid kit on hand for emergencies, then you need a Relief Band for those unexpected nausea moments. And right now we've got an exclusive offer just for us Sandwich and Some Lovin' listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code SANDWICH, you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping. So head to reliefband.com and use our promo code SANDWICH for 20% off plus free shipping.
Thank you, Relief Band.
Love Relief Band.
Nobody loves it more than me. Ooh.
This next letter is from Shauna.
Is this for you again?
Oh, it's just a letter in general. Subject, air fryer. Hi, Kellie and Alan.
Hello.
Kellie, what is the air fryer that you have? I remember you talking about it on the radio, how great it is, and buying one for my man, Big Al, as a housewarming gift. We just moved into a new house, and I'm in the market for one. Thanks in advance. Love you both. Shauna, P.S. Add me to the list of favorite Black listeners. I think there are more of us out here than you realize.
Stand up.
All right.
Recognize.
Yes.
Be counted.
Hey, I think Tony would agree with you. I think Carolyn, Apache Cowboy, Sinise.
You get in trouble when you start listening because you're going to forget somebody.
The Real Neon, and add Shauna to the list. Right. I've got them in my head right here.
All right. Do you remember the name of our air fryer?
It is a Ninja.
It's a Ninja. Is it an iFoodie? Is it a Ninja iFoodie? It's the Ninja air fryer that you set on the counter, but it flips up. So you can flip it up to get it out of the way if you want to. But we just leave it down all the time because we use it. Well, Alan uses it all the time.
It looks like a giant toaster oven.
It does have that function on it. You can use it as a broiler. You can use it as the air fryer. It's like a toaster oven.
You can bake a freaking pizza in it.
It's the Ninja one that flips up on the countertop, if that helps you.
It's great.
We've had ours for, I think, 2 or 3 years now.
I swear by it.
They've probably got a newer model out. But my mama, she wanted to give, what do we want for Christmas? And I said, well, Alan would like this. I don't know if Alan asked for it, if I just thought it'd be a good idea. I don't remember.
We had the little air fryer we didn't like.
Oh, I had the bucket one. I hated it. I hated the bucket air fryer. I don't know how people use that. Everything gets soggy in it. You can't put a lot of food in it. But with this one, you can kind of spread your food out. But the problem is, since we got that air fryer, Alan doesn't use the outdoor kitchen that he built. He's like, why would I go outside to fire up the grill to do a steak when I could just do it in the air fryer? So all that money we could have saved so much money on the outdoor kitchen and just get $200 on an air fryer.
You're not getting the full reference. You're not getting the full picture. Kelly is leaving out a lot of details.
What details?
Here. The air fryer is great for us when just I want to make one steak for me or just make something for me and the boys. The outdoor kitchen is if we're having a bunch of people over and I need to make a lot of stuff. So
when are we going to do that?
They're different. Exactly. If they had people over to do that, I would not use the air fryer.
I'm going to start inviting
I would use the outdoor kitchen.
To justify that outdoor kitchen.
Here, let me give you a recipe real quick. This is so easy. In the air fryer, if you get this air fryer, here's all you got to do. Get you a steak from your favorite grocery store, about 3/4 to an inch thick. A good steak, either a ribeye or a T-bone. Garlic salt one side, black pepper, garlic salt the other side, black pepper. Kind of let it sit for a couple of minutes. Air fryer. Put it on 425 degrees, air fry. 7 minutes one side, flip it, 6 minutes the other side. Take it out, let it sit for 5 minutes, medium rare every time. Perfect. Easy.
I don't like medium rare.
13 minutes, you can have a restaurant quality grilled steak from that air fryer.
How about for medium well?
For medium well, I'd do it like 8 minutes on one side and probably like 7 minutes, like 15 total minutes.
Just letting it rest is the key.
Gotta let it rest. You always, even if you take it off the grill, you gotta let your steaks rest.
So the thing about air fryers too is like you ever have soggy everybody wants to say French fries from a restaurant. It's like, why? They're gonna be soggy. But they crisp back up in an air fryer. It's been really good.
They do.
There's a lot of fun things you can do with that.
Okay. Oh, there's the next letter. But we are going to have to split this up in 3 podcasts because we've got so many great letters. It's just we're not gonna be able to get to them all.
That's what I said at the beginning of the podcast.
Is that what you said?
Maybe we should just answer like 1 or 2 letters every podcast, at the end of every podcast.
Hey, this one's from our friend Megan. She was at the 500th episode party. This letter's from Megan. Subject, 500th episode party follow-up. Remember sweet, clean Megan and her sweet mother?
It was very nice of her to include a photo.
They look like sisters. Remember that?
And you printed that out with the color option on the printer.
Well, I just hit.
Using up that color ink.
Well, I just hit print. Hi, Kelly and Alan. Feel free to use my real name. Well, I'm glad I didn't mess up there.
Yeah.
I was so excited to join y'all today for the 500th episode party for A Sandwich and Some Lovin' at Oak Barbecue. In fact, I was so excited that my mom and I yogurted out early after being overcome with happiness just to have met you. Wow.
We love meeting you so much we left.
Yes. We just went
that.
yogurt. See ya. This was my first podcast family event, and I was full of nervous energy to finally meet 2 people who I've listened to for so long. While I only started listening to the podcast about 1.5 years ago, I've listened to Kelly for most of my life, growing up with her beautiful voice streaming through the radio waves from my mom's minivan. Now that my nervous energy has calmed, I wanted to ask you all a few questions that I thought of before the party but didn't have a chance to ask. Number 1, do you all plan to take the kids to the State Fair of Texas? It's always one of my favorite events to go to, and now I love taking my 3-year-old daughter to experience the magic.
No.
I think the answer would be no.
No. It is fun when you I have in my Facebook memories, they pop up from Emma Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one that just popped up this week was from she was 2 years old, right before her 2nd birthday. The State Fair always wraps up the weekend around her birthday, which is October 19th. State Fair, Texas, the biggest fair in the country, right? And, when she's a cute little toddler, it's fun to go out there and do the cotton candy and put her on a few little rides. But the thing about the State Fair of Texas is it is so stinking expensive. And it's a lot of walking around, and it's usually pretty hot. And that's just something that I think Alan, what do you think?
Oh, I'm with you. When the kids were small, I'd take all 3 to the fair. And I remember
so
well, yeah, but they enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah, when they're little.
They like seeing the animals. They like playing some games. They like eating the food. They enjoyed all that, and I enjoyed it too. As the kids got older, I remember we tried taking all of them one time, and it seemed like there was a lot of huffing and puffing.
Yeah,
a lot of
because they don't all want to ride the same thing.
Yeah,
and they don't want to all eat the same thing.
I remember there being a lot of huffing and puffing.
It was hot.
And then we said, well,
It's
okay,
just you and me go.
let's just Kelly and I go. And then we had several years we went and had a great time.
Yeah, it's fun because you always have to go get a corny dog, and I want to get a funnel cake. And some people like to get turkey legs. I'm not a fan of the turkey leg. I don't like dark meat, but I love the smell of a fair. I love the at night when it's kind of like a little cooler and the lights are bright. But I don't know. The past couple of years, I just haven't cared about going.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm fared out, but boy, I've been a lot. I've been to the state fair a lot. Yeah.
It's always a pain. I don't know. Are we being so negative?
I don't know. Are we getting
getting old?
We're getting old? I don't know.
We're getting old and cranky.
Okay, she's got other questions here. So moving on.
I still have tickets from the fair from 2 years ago.
No, I know.
Leftover tickets that we need to use.
I know. We got those big Tex cups we got upsold on that bring them back and you can get a free refill.
Or cheap refills and all these tickets. And they're still sitting in the cabinet because we haven't been back.
Right. Megan's second question is, have y'all been watching Ahsoka? I know Alan was a huge fan of The Mandalorian, and my husband and I have been enjoying this new Star Wars spinoff on Disney+. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Megan, great question. I got into it late. Like I didn't start watching every episode right as they came out, but I've been binging it. And I think I have the last one to go. I have loved it. I think it's been really great. The Mandalorian is the best stuff I think Disney has ever.
Except for the most recent season.
Yeah. They kind of faded out, fizzled out at the end. Yeah. But the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were incredible.
But you do love Ahsoka.
But Ahsoka's great. And I don't know.
I haven't been watching
if you're not a real big Star Wars nerd, there's this one dude who's in Ahsoka. His name's Ray Stevenson, and he plays a bad guy. He plays a Sith. And his character is so awesome. Everyone loves this guy, has said this is the best acting performance in a Star Wars movie show all across Star Wars. And I was like, yeah, I really have enjoyed watching him. He's really great, a great actor. So I Google it. He passed away. He passed away before the first episode was released.
It's a shame.
57 years old.
It's a shame. And I'm 56. And I look down and I'm like, oh my gosh.
He's an Irish actor.
Not promised tomorrow.
His name is Ray Stevenson. And yeah, he passed away before he could see any of the completed episodes.
It's a shame.
But
it's probably would have been a real pivotal.
Oh my gosh.
Life-changing, career-changing.
Totally.
Series for him.
But apparently he was in Italy filming something and he passed. I don't know what the cause of death was. But anyway, Megan, I've loved it. It's been really, really great. And Hayden Christensen's made a big comeback too. Really, we're nerding out right now. But Hayden Christensen plays Anakin Skywalker, and he's made a comeback into some of the Disney spinoffs. And he got a bad rap for the way he played Anakin and Darth Vader.
Wasn't he directed that way?
By George Lucas, right. And he was whiny.
That could have been his choice, but the director was good with it.
I know. And there's so many memes that, about just bratty. Yeah. But the way he's portrayed Anakin in these shows has been awesome. Good. So that's another thing I love. Okay, number 3. At the party, we were asked by your wacky marketing department what our favorite parts of A Sandwich That's Beloved have been. I'd love to turn that question back around on you both. What are your favorite things or memories about the podcast after 500 episodes? Kelly?
What's the friendships we've made?
Oh. Okay.
Why'd you say, like that was a shocking answer?
No, that was a good answer.
Why was that shock? Well, the friendships we made, honestly. That's been my favorite thing.
Yeah, I was going to, you just caught me. I was going to come up with some shallow answer like, well, we did a podcast at Macero Restaurant one time. That was really pretty cool. I didn't think of the friendships.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have to be the same for you. What were you going to say?
No, I was thinking more of actually doing the podcast, but now that you mentioned
doing the podcast is a beating.
Yeah, well, true. Not true. Now that you mentioned it, that is the number one thing.
Okay.
The friends we've made, helping give babies away. I mean, come on.
That's fun.
I mean, come on.
Making dreams come true.
Who gets to do that? I mean, on a podcast, who gets to do that? That's really freaking awesome. So the friends doing helping people have babies, the vacations we've been on with people,
which leads to friendships.
To friendships. I know, if we weren't doing the podcast, then I probably wouldn't be in a position where I could do things like take off on a motorcycle for a week and raise money for a charity that I love. You know, just stuff that is really hard to do if you don't have the flexibility we have on this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? This doing a podcast. So I guess that would be my answer.
That's a more well-rounded answer.
Thank you. Anyways, I had to get my thoughts and questions to y'all. Over these 500 episodes, I've laughed, I've cried, and I've celebrated. You have made a positive impact on my life in more ways than one. I can't wait for the next podcast family meetup. Yogurt, Megan. Love you, Megan. Love you desperately. You want to do a little something, or what do you want to do?
Why don't you do one more letter? I just did something.
You did? Are you sure?
I just did something.
Okay, I got a lot of,
you can edit some of these.
Got a lot of long letters.
I know, you need to edit some of these.
Really long letters.
You want me to edit some of them for you? Because it's too much.
No, that's okay. This next letter is from Caitlin. Subject, episode 497.
That was very recent.
Hi, Kelly and Alan. I just listened to episode 497 where y'all discussed funny football player names.
Yeah.
General Booty.
Yeah. I don't remember any of them.
Shitasawa or something. Remember that one?
No.
There
I have no recollection.
There were some wild ones. I had to tell you about the name of one of my coworkers. Whoa. Just to set the scene, I work in an elementary school. Imagine you're sitting in your room working with a group of students, and when the intercom interrupts you and says, please excuse the interruption. We need Precious Bush to please call the front office. Precious Bush, please call the front office.
I hope that translated with your muffled.
And then you have to act mature and keep a straight face in front of these students. LOL. It is a name that no one can seem to keep a straight face when they hear it. Just had to share. Love y'all. Your very best Florida listener.
Precious is a name I've heard before.
But has the last name been Bush?
Not in those two names together.
I'll tell you what.
Hopefully she'll get married young.
Well,
we can marry out of that.
Speaking of Precious Bush, why don't we
what? Speaking of what?
Well, hold on. Let's do
you be careful with what you're about to say.
What? I'm about to say anything.
You said speaking of.
I'll say whatever I want to say, number one. Number two, let's see here. I'm looking for a short letter, but these are all really long. Oh, here's one. Here's a short one. Okay, let's do this one.
And then I'll do a little something.
You'll do something, and then we'll finish off by one of the most abhorrent, shocking, lewd things I have seen.
I do remember now. I do remember what Alan was talking about. It took me a minute. That gave it away.
From Sarah. Subject, I'm listening. Ask Alan.
Oh, ask Alan anything.
Dear Alan, would you rather never be allowed to change your voice or clear your throat or say whoa, or always be 20 minutes away from a toilet? Sarah, let me get into this a little bit here. Would you rather never be allowed to change your voice? Okay, so here are your choices. You can't change your voice or clear your throat or say, whoa, on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's saying, or you can never always be 20 minutes from a toilet.
You always have access to a toilet.
Yeah, she's saying you
have to give up one.
You have to give up access to the toilet, or changing your voice when you say something lewd.
Or clearing your throat to emphasize something that you find lewd or a double entendre.
Right. I would say, gosh, that's tough. I don't know how to answer.
So why don't you just wear a diaper and then just keep changing your voice and doing it because that's your bit. Or eat better so you don't have stomach issues. Those are your options. No?
Well,
I just solved it for you.
Yeah, you just told your husband to wear a diaper.
Well, if you have to choose between that or making your rude, lewd comments,
no,
I'm sure you would prefer that.
No.
Or change your diet so you don't have those gastrointestinal distressful moments.
I don't have distressful moments. I've lost 12 pounds, thank you. I have been eating very well.
Exactly, because you change your diet. When you eat better, you don't have those moments.
Oh, here's another short one. This letter is from Emily. Subject, clothes rack for Kelly. Hello, sweet, clean podcasters. I hear that Kelly needs an extra clothes rack. I just so happen to have one.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
Sitting around that I need to part with. If y'all want it, let me know. Here's the catch. I want to be part of the next swap party if possible.
Oh.
She didn't say that. I added that.
Oh.
She says, also, I'd love to be part of the next swap party if possible. Love y'all. Keep on keeping on, you jive turkeys.
Jive turkey. I love jive turkey. I had a jive turkey is one of my favorite things. And I even had a t-shirt printed that said jive turkey, but I picked the wrong font. So it looked like Tive turkey instead of jive turkey, and nobody got it. Plus this shirt was ill-fitting.
Font?
Yeah, it was a little ill-fitting. It was a little too snug for my bosom. So it was big busted Tive turkey, and it didn't resonate.
Oh.
But I wouldn't mind ordering a new one with jive turkey after I complete Red Mountain weight loss. I don't want to be. No, I'm starting back tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Starting back tomorrow.
Okay, why don't you do some of that?
All right.
And we're going to bring it home.
This is an ad.
For Jerome.
Because this podcast is sponsored by Soul. Yes, it is. Sleep is something we take for granted until we're not getting it, right? Stress, anxiety, racing thoughts that can really wreck with your sleep. And when you don't get enough sleep, that affects your health. It can affect your relationships because you're grumpy and snapping at each other all the time. But there is a natural solution, and it's called Soul. Now, finding a sleep aid that does not leave you feeling groggy or hungover, that's my issue, because I got to get up so early the next morning, right? And I can't have that groggy, hungover feeling. But that's not what Soul gives you. Soul was founded 4 years ago by a brother and sister named Mike and Angie Lee. Mike's a former world-ranked professional boxer. Angie is an author, and she's also a professional speaker. And they wanted to create natural alternatives to medications that tackle problems that they were dealing with themselves, like sleeplessness, anxiety, focus, and pain. Well, Soul's best-selling sleep aid is called Sleepy, and it's got an I, Sleepy with an I. You will be obsessed when you try it. Sleepy is jam-packed with the highest quality ingredients. It tastes amazing. 3 varieties: blueberry lemonade, raspberry lemonade, that may be my favorite, and honey chamomile.
Mine was the blueberry lemonade.
You like that flavor?
Yeah.
Sleepy has helped over 6,000 people find these are the ones that have talked about it. You know, a lot of people, they have good experiences. They don't take the time to go leave a positive review. These people have taken the time to do that because they're so happy with it. It's much better than any other sleep aid product you've tried choking down, wouldn't you say?
Well, number one, it tastes good. Number two, I woke up the next morning, I felt refreshed. It's
Yes.
not like I felt hungover or anything.
That's the danger, right? You don't want that.
Gently fell asleep. You know?
Yeah.
It's a very natural feeling.
That's what we love about Soul Sleepy. But they do more than just make sleep products. Whether you're looking for stress relief, enhanced focus, pain relief, with or without CBD, because they have both, Soul has all your wellness needs covered. And if you're not sure which product's right for you, Soul has a quiz that will guide you to the right choice based on your CBD experience, of the experience level you've had, your age, what issues you're trying to solve. And Soul is grown right here in the USA, organically farmed, and it's gluten-free, if that's important to you, like Alan, because I think that's part of his gastrointestinal issues.
Wow. It's time to get the sleep you deserve. So head to getsoul.com/sandwich and use code SANDWICH for 20% off your order. That's 20% off your order using code SANDWICH. One last time, getsoul.com/sandwich and use code SANDWICH for 20% off.
And that's SOUL, get SOUL.com sandwich, yes. I should make sure they spell soul right. SOUL.
Did I read something wrong?
No, you didn't. I just want to make sure they knew it spelled soul, SOUL.
All right. Here's the story that I teased at the very beginning. So I went to go walk the Zonut the other day. Zoe, the best dog ever. My schnauzer, our schnauzer. And I have a couple of different paths in the neighborhood that I walk. I chose to take one that took me, because I'm doing this 10,000 step thing, So I chose to take a path that took me over by a school that's close to where we live. Not going to name the school, but by a school. So I am on the walk, just walking, having a good time, listening. I was actually watching YouTube. I remember now. I had the leash in one hand. I had my phone in the other.
That's dangerous.
Oh, I mean, I'm watching, looking up, watching. I'm fine. I've done this for 10,000 steps for 15 days.
I tripped when I wasn't watching something and got busted in my face.
That's you. I haven't tripped. So
you better knock wood on that.
So wood. So I'm just walking.
Word.
Say it again. Say it again.
I was doing you.
Say it again.
Word.
One more.
No, I'm done.
So I'm walking down the path, and I'm walking by this parking lot. The parking lot is empty, and I'm in somewhat of a remote area. Okay. It's kind of an area where you would go if you wanted to get away from people. So I'm walking down the path, and I notice a car, and it's just out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, no big deal. Somebody just parked a car out in the middle of nowhere. It's a white Toyota.
Maybe they parked it there to go on a walk.
Yes.
During their lunch break.
That's what I see people do a lot. They'll park there because it's out of the way, and then they'll run around the path, or there's tennis courts close, whatever. The white Toyota Camry.
Mm-hmm.
As I approach said white Toyota Camry, I notice, I hear, even with my headphones in, I can hear the engine running. Like, somebody probably eating lunch in their car. I don't think anything about it. I'm not super nosy, I'm just walking. I get closer to the car, and then I do look over, hear the engine running, and I see there's nobody in the front seat. So now my first thought was, I hope there's not a dog in there. Because if there's a dog in there and somebody just left their dog in there, even with the air conditioning running, that's not cool. Why would they leave a dog? That was my first thought, was somebody must have left something in there, either a kid or a dog.
See, and my first thought is, this is a crime scene, and I need to, pay attention, because I always want to be the person that's the eyewitness to a crime scene.
So at this point, I would say I'm about 20, 30 feet away from the car. Close enough to where I can kind of see in the car, but I can't really see in the car. So I keep walking. I get a little bit closer. I can hear the car running. Now I'm kind of getting nosy because I'm like, well, I don't see anybody in the front seat. I kind of start walking up to the left side, the driver's side of the car. I look in the back seat, and wouldn't you know it, there's some guy getting ass in there. He has got his girlfriend on top of him.
They were fornicating is a nicer way to put it.
They were engaging in
fornication,
la flagrante delicto, whatever you call it.
I don't never.
They were engaging in heterosexual intercourse.
Why do you have to change your voice for that?
In the car, had his hands on butt cheeks and just doing the Rebecca De Mornay on top of Tom Cruise in the train bit in Risky Business.
Yeah.
Just I can feel
you don't have to
come
it.
in the air tonight.
Was that the song playing in Risky Business?
Oh no. Was it? I don't know.
I don't remember.
There was
a long time
since
I've seen that movie.
Anyway, I'm like, I kind of did the double take, like,
am I really seeing this?
They're in there screwing in the car.
Were you partially, I know you were like shocked.
I was shocked.
So was part of you like, dang, that looks like fun?
Well, I mean.
Like, man, I miss those days. Did any other part of that resonate in your spirit?
I don't know. No.
Back in the day when you used to be fun and flying by the seat of your pants.
No comment. Now, here's the deal. I didn't notice any, I couldn't give you a description of the people. So I don't know if they were old, if they were young. I don't know any. I just know there was a
school property.
Yes. I just know there was a brunette on top of a dude. He had his palms on ass cheeks, and she was going in the motion.
Got it.
Doing like.
Got it. You do not need to describe that.
Right. So I saw this. I'm like, unbelievable. I think that's what I said to myself. I was like, unbelievable. So I just walk away, and I look over my shoulder thinking they would be hiding or trying to get dressed. They just keep going.
They didn't see you.
They
did and didn't care.
Didn't care. So I relayed, and I just kept walking, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
forgot
whatever,
about it.
whatever. So I relay. This is in broad daylight.
Yeah, middle of the day.
So I relay this story to Kellie, and then of course my lewd sense of humor. I'm like, what if I had what if I had like crawled up to the car and like poked my head over the window? Kellie says, "Oh, he would have come out and kicked your ass."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
would've.
really? What's he gonna do? Run after me with his pants around his ankles
You
and
don't know.
whip me with his dingus? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Was he packing heat? You don't know. I just wouldn't mess with people like that because it's embarrassing to be caught in that situation, and then he'd be mad at you calling you a pervert. You know, that's what could happen. Why's that funny?
Oh God. It's just a shocking thing when you see other people doing it. It's like one thing that when you see it on TV, I mean, I can count maybe on 2 or 3 fingers the amount of times I've seen it in my life where it's someone else doing it that I don't know.
Yeah. It could be all sorts
It's
of
always in a
scenarios.
car too.
Well, that's the thing. Could it be an affair? Could it be, maybe a married couple trying to bring some spice back into their life, trying to bring some excitement back into their marriage? Could it have been a couple of the kids from school that are supposed to be going on off-campus lunch break? Well, there's a whole bunch of scenarios, but we'll never know.
I should have knocked on the window.
No.
Why?
Why would you do that?
To ask them if they renewed their extended car warranty.
No. I was sitting at why would you ask that?
Christy Kincaid Norris gave me that one. She
Oh,
fed me that one.
I got the police officer knocked on the window one time with me, and I was horrified, but I wasn't doing anything. It was me and my boyfriend at the time, Benny, who would prefer to be called Benet because he was gay. But not at the time when I was dating him. He had not experienced that lifestyle just yet, but ended up leaving me for Patrick. It's a long story. But I remember we were sitting outside Val Dottie School of Modeling after a day because we had met there and took one of my car. Anyway, and we were just talking, and a police officer came up and knocked on the window, scared the crap out of me. I'm so glad we weren't doing something, because if we'd been making out or something, that would have been really embarrassing, much less doing the nasty deed.
2 real quick stories just to how did that happen?
I just went to make sure it was spelled correctly.
Oh, okay. Just
never mind.
Never mind us. We're just looking at things on the internet. Yeah, I was shocked. This was in my community, in my neighborhood.
And
I didn't do anything about it.
No.
Didn't call anybody, didn't tell anybody but you. Now I've told the whole world, but
part of you doesn't want to maybe do something to spice up our love life maybe a little and do something adventurous.
Can you imagine you and me, our big giant bodies in the back of a Toyota Camry?
Well, we have an SUV though.
At high noon, with the air conditioning running in broad daylight in a school parking lot.
Okay, let's take out the high noon part. Let's do it in the dark with the air conditioner running.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of the SUV, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Parked safely in our, well, no, we can't do it in the garage because with the air conditioning running in a closed garage, we could die.
Didn't we test that RV out? Or did we not? I think
we did not.
We never tested the RV out?
We did not.
Would you have wanted to test the RV out?
Well, you developed a horrible sinus infection.
Oh, no.
When we were on that trip.
Oh, no. And remember that mattress was about 2 inches thick? It was definitely not a Helix mattress.
No, it was not. That was not a love-making adventure for us.
Okay, 2 quick stories to tie this up. The only other time, because I was just trying to think, how many other times have
you caught somebody in the wild?
Have I caught somebody in the wild? I remember when I first moved to Dallas from Lubbock. I just graduated from Tech, got my first apartment. I think this might have been the very first time I go into a grocery store by myself. There was an Albertsons that was right next to my apartment complex in Dallas. I remember parking my car, walking to the front door, and I look over, and there's a dude, not to be
fornicating.
no, not to be graphic, but
Well, you're going to be.
Well,
You cannot help yourself.
let me just
Is
say,
he receiving pleasure?
let me just say, there was a head bobbing up and down.
Okay, well there you go.
In
He
his
was
lap.
He was receiving pleasure.
And he was doing the looking over both shoulders bit. So he totally saw me. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Is
Well,
this
that was
what
part of the thrill, maybe. Some people like that, doing stuff like that in public. That's like a bit of a thrill.
Okay, that was at Albertsons. And then something happened to me. This was in high school, man. That was a long time ago. Me and a girlfriend. I don't know. It's not lewd. We just went to an area and we were sitting on a bench. And, we're just sitting there talking. It's my girlfriend at the time. We were sitting there talking and, whatever. You get that feeling you're being watched, right? This is in a kind of a remote area, like a little honey, what do you call it?
A lookout lane.
Lookout lane type.
Yeah. Lover's lane.
Lover's lane type area. You gotta feel like you're being watched. Look over our shoulder. There was a dude in the bushes right behind us. About 6 feet away. Yeah. Hello, hand.
By himself?
By himself.
Oh, that's creepy.
And he saw me look over and he ran away.
That's creepy.
Very creepy.
You never told me that
I never
story.
told you that. I don't think I've told anybody.
Well, you just told 37 people that are going to listen to this podcast.
That was wheels off.
Well, I don't want to. I don't know.
You talk about going.
Are we going to end the podcast on that note?
You talk about going from the Man of Steel to the Pillsbury Doughboy.
You got a good look at that? You paid that close of attention?
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh, you? Oh.
All right, babe. You got anything else?
No, just I'm going to go stretch my IT band and not break a sweat for my heart monitor and massage my high arches.
I sure wish I could remember those three elements. It was something like...
And do my physical therapy for my shoulder.
No, I want to say it was like my aching IT band, my bruised pancreas, and my infected root canal. It was like three that you've never told me.
Oh, I did. My tooth is finally better.
Yeah.
I did have a root canal that was still painful, but that's finally healed. Maybe that was it. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry I'm so much trouble. I'm truly sorry you married me.
Whatever.
I feel bad for you.
You told me tonight, and just so we're all clear, listener, and here, we'll sign off right after this. Just so we're all clear. My wife on this podcast told me I need to wear a diaper.
Well, I was saying if given the choice that you could wear a diaper or change your diet. Now, let's be very clear about that.
I don't want to change my diet.
Well, then wear a freaking diaper.
Okay.
And keep being lewd.
Well, there you go. All right, babe. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
Love our listeners desperately.
Love y'all.
I love all y'all desperately. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're going to love on each other desperately, don't be doing it in a car, in a park, in Plano, because
Alan's watching.
There's a good chance this guy is going to see you.
And talk about it on a podcast.
And I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
No, I wanted to make sure.
How did they already have my quote on there?
They just made one, I guess. Just to validate it. But I wanted to make sure it was right before we posted it.
Okay. What's up with all the ads, guys? What's going on? A sandwich and some butt cheek parking. A sandwich and some La Flagrante Delecto. A sandwich and a nooner. A sandwich and Dallas Stars. Stars open tomorrow. This is that time of year, Catherine, where you got all four sports. They're about to go at the same time. It's like a real short because basketball is about to start too. So you'll have baseball playoffs. a sandwich and a diaper. Mm-hmm. You'll have basketball, baseball playoffs, football, of course, and hockey. How about that? What kind of ads are they? I'm just curious. Well, I guess they target whatever you're interested in. So you don't have to tell me that. I was just curious what kind of ads they might be. I get a lot of Progressive motorcycle insurance ads. Lots of those. No ads? A sandwich and some bouncing cheeks? Oh, he just had Christy, just full grip. Couldn't have cared less that I was standing right there, like right next to the car. I'm like, I think I even went, and then just went unbelievable. That was my reaction. And then unbelievable. Guy in there. Like Tom Cruise in Risky Business. Intriguing today's society. Man, YouTube, they're making y'all earn it. Good
What
grief.
happened? They're putting ads on there?
Showing them ads, yeah. A
In
sandwich.
our chat?
Yeah, a sandwich and some risky business.
Thank you.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Who gets credit for that?
Darla. Young, sweet, clean Darla, a vacationer of ours. Friend of ours, very best customer. Oh, Carmen, you went to the game? You went to the Rangers game? That was such an awesome game. We didn't talk about the Cowboys and Rangers, but that was awesome. That was so fun to watch. I hope they can keep it up. I hope they can play just like that in the championship. Oh, man. Sunday? I don't recall that. Oh, wow. How much, Carmen, I'm just curious. How much was your ticket? Was it really expensive to get into a playoff game? Or I was telling the boys I wish we could have gone, but I figured they'd be sold out and they'd be really expensive. Wait, it's almost 10 o'clock already. Yeah. I don't know if I can pay $200 to go see a baseball game. That's not a lot of money for a baseball game, but playoff, championship series.
What were some of the questions you answered and asked Alan anything?
Credit union, husband needing the chores. Do you like Ahsoka? Favorite podcast moments? You know, that's not too
How do you
bad.
spell Ahsoka?
I think it's AHSOKA. I'm being misrepresented. I don't need adult diapers. I don't need a diaper. I've never needed a diaper. I mean, 99% of the time, I don't need a diaper. Okay. Catherine, did the Astros win tonight? Is that why you're saying Astros versus Rangers? I think that didn't they need one more game? They had to beat the Twinkies one more game. Terry wants to know if you would change my diaper. Terry wants to know if you would change my diaper.
It will be my privilege as his wife to take care of him when it gets to that point.
That's a bunch of
Isn't
crap.
that one of the privileges of being a mother, of being a daughter, of being a wife, is to take care of the person you love at their lowest and most vulnerable moment?
Which I've done for you. You've fallen a few times. I've been there.
Isn't it a privilege to nurse your loved one through sickness, to take care of them?
No, because here's what you would do. Because I know you.
I would hire a nurse.
Boom. Kelly will pay somebody to do it. She wouldn't do it.
Happy to pay. I work in order to have money to pay people to do stuff for me, so I don't have to do it. That is the sole reason I work.
That's a dime right there.
That's it. I work so I don't have to do stuff.
Oh, the Astros did win. So it's Astros versus Rangers starting Sunday.
Y'all, it's Milo Tea. Why aren't they hiring me as a sponsor? It's so good.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, stronger and wiser. I did have to. Amy said I would happily change your diaper.
Aw.
Lift your legs up like a baby. Can you imagine holding both your legs up?
You know, I haven't changed many boys' diapers in my lifetime. I've mostly changed girls' diapers.
I think
So
well,
I know you have to get around all the little nooks and crannies in there. But that's babies. That's before everything kind of.
I've changed both, and the boys are way easier.
Really? You don't have to get in there around the little, because their balls are still kind of small then, huh? Their little
It's a lot
wingers.
easier. Yeah, girls are the ones that's got all that. Yeah. I thought the boys were way
I haven't changed a lot of boys' diapers. A few. Not a lot.
At least that's how I remember it.
I wouldn't think you'd have a lot of occasion to reminisce on that.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Stop talking.
I am done.
Okay.
Send my podcast description. Thank you for the podcast title. Don't forget, we're going to Dutch's birthday party Friday. I just got the reminder of that.
Right.
Are you going to ride me there on the back of your bike?
We can. All right, guys. Yogurt. Thanks for being here. We will talk to you soon, and we will see you on the social medias.
Bye. Friday night. Oh, it's going to be sunny and 82 on Friday.
It's nice.
I'm ready for 70s and 60s. Sunday and Monday is going to be 71 for the high.
Nice. All right. Bye, guys. We're talking about the weather now.